This is where the fun begins.
Are you sure? So be it. Did you miss me?
Hi, everyone. I'm trying to position this so that I don't have that effing glare. Ugh. But it looks like it's just going to be that way. So I'm going to be shadowed a little bit. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys can hear me. I don't have my mic on over here because I'm in a weird setup. I'm trying to figure out a nice way to do this until I get a camera that I can angle. So that's bothering me. Let's see. But anyways, yeah, this is an impromptu. I am going to finish the Boba Fett painting here. So all I have to do is the jetpack, the shoulder, what do you call it? The shoulder guards, and his Wookiee braids. So yeah, his Wookiee braids. And then to see who's in the chat. Of course, Soul Assassin's going to get something so well deserved. Oh, I can't believe you can't see me. Goodness. So Jim the Despot is here, and Soul Assassin, F you on the Soul Wizard. And let's see here. We have Darth Paws. Dashfield is crying like a baby. Yes, I seen that. You know, I'm going to have to get up here and take care of this thing because I do need the extra light, but it might have to be, that might be better. That might be better. Yes, I'm in yoga clothes. Always in yoga clothes. This is me, OG Star Wars. All right. So here we go. All right. And then heard you got triple blocked Darth Paws. Fun, fun, fun. Fun, fun, fun. Right? Fun, fun, fun. You can kind of see the chaotic studio I have to go through and do some spring cleaning. Let's see here. Soul Assassin. I am Thanos with the Infinity Gems. All right. So this is what I'm working on, you guys. So like I said, I have his jetpack too, which I have to mix the color for, so that might go last. And then just touch up. I don't know if I'm going to do stars or a bit of stars in the background or not. Yeah, and I'm excited because I'm going to probably offer prints of those too pretty soon. Now, what was the angle I was preferring here? Sound like Yoda, huh? All right. So I've got to finish mixing some paint here. Here is my palette. Yep. Here are the colors I'm using. So I don't know if you guys can see that very good. It's not one of those that has the thumb hole. I guess you could say. That sounds so funny. Thumb hole. And crap, I forgot to grab some paper towels. I'm gonna be right back. I need paper towels. Those are very important for this setup. So you're gonna hear me scurry about real quick because paper towels are a must. All right. This kitchen is just right around the corner. So I didn't go far, but I'm going to add a block to this. Let's see how this goes. And I'll turn the camera back on because I'm meaning to have the camera on for this. It's just, I'm trying to find some clever ways. And plus my studio needs its cleaning. So bad. But that's coming probably within the next couple of days. All right, let me turn the camera back on. This might be a little bit better. Hey, there we go. Hi, you guys. Now I'm going to play some of HoloNet's while we're sitting here. It's going to be low, but you guys might be able to hear it. So if you can hear it, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. So HoloNet did their part 4 of the New Jedi Order documentary. And it's called Crafting an Epic. The Making of the New Jedi Order, Part 4, Abyss Star Wars documentary. So let's see who's all coming in. It feels weird talking to you guys from the side right here. I have nothing on other than my yoga clothes and no makeup, nothing. Let's see here. OG, do you consider Star Wars The Old Republic in my MMO canon or not? MMO, you mean the game? It's the story. It's story that reflects the novel and stuff is canon. However, like how you play it isn't canon. So that's usually a lot of Star Wars games like that. So, but I don't know if that's relative or not, relevant or not for anybody. I think everybody knows that. Let's see here. And I see someone else I gotta say hello to. Hey, OG, when Disney bought Star Wars, were you thinking, I'll give it a shot, or did you know it was going to be bad? It was going to blow. I was curious. But the minute they decided to, and when I seen The Force Awakens, all of that, I just knew that they were gonna bastardize the show or the lore. And so I seen it coming, but I was curious. I was the few that were curious. And who else did I wanted to reply to? God, I look horrid. Oh, wow. Good evening, Alora. I watched Star Wars A New Hope the other night. I wish President Trump would sign an executive order decanonizing Disney version of Star Wars. Keep up the great work, Alora. Oh, thank you so much. That's funny that you say that. I am not going to get into any type of political talk right now. I just want to paint. I just want to paint and chat with you guys. Blocked by the High Republic cuck, Mrs. Dash. I replied back regarding who set off the thought bomb. And so we'll see if that gives me a block as well. We'll see. So as I said, this is my template right here. So I gotta do the shoulder guards. I gotta do the jetpack here and the Wookiee braids. So that's gonna be fun. Now I really like this here, although it went through some damage and stuff stepping on. This is a concept art. I was gonna do all the way down to just below his knees, his shins, but I decided not to. So just giving you guys a glimpse of this. All right, let me go ahead and mix this up. I do need probably, I didn't put no type of white. No, we probably don't need any type of white in here. Not that I'm trying to sound racist or anything. It's just the color. But I do need a yellow. And I do use a medium in it. It's a slow drying, so I can come back to it if I feel I need to do any further stuff and blending and everything. So I don't know. My medium here is oil. So I don't know if you guys know much about that, but that is my medium. Any questions about painting as well? Let me know. I know you guys, I'm like right here mixing. So mixing it up. I wish I had an overview camera here. Then I can share with you. Let's see here. Ouch, I hit myself. My elbow. I tend to do that. And I don't use black in a lot of stuff. I use more of a really dark brown because I think black is too intense. I'm doing something that really needs that intense color of black. Then if not, then I don't use it. So, oh, this made this a little bit of green. I don't like that. Let me see what you guys are saying. I use the tracing paper and trace X-Men comic covers. Cool. I have a 0 artistic abilities. Let's see here. I know about 5-3 or 5W30. That's about an oil. Oh, that. Talking about car oil. There are 4 sequels pending, but thank you. Let me see here what you guys are saying. OG Star Wars EU books, do you consider overrated? Ooh, that's a good one. A lot of you guys, if you've listened to me in the past, will know what I think is overrated. Can you guess the one trilogy I think that is overrated? Oh, this is a badass color for the... Okay, I think I found the color. I think I found the color. It feels so good when you do actually find the right color shade for what you're working on. Woohoo! All right. All right. So the one I love, but I think is overrated, is the Thrawn trilogy. And all of you guys just leave me right now. You're like, fuck her. The Thrawn trilogy. Yes. Now Darth Paws is gonna bounce. He's like, I had enough with her. I'm gonna bounce. Let's see here. Let's see how this looks on. Let me see. I'll put it. Ooh. Okay. There we go. So I have the this is the easel. I have the my palette here. Here are my brushes. And I'm gonna go with a Filbert's Round. That's what that is. Filbert's Round. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here. He's like, no, I agree with you. Wow, okay. Let me see here. Dark Force Rising is great, but rest are overrated. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right. So, let me play that video now that we're sitting here talking. I still think it's still kind of dark in here. I'd rather have some more light. Let's see here.
All right, joining us this week on Scum and Villainy
It needs to be a
Radio.
little bit more orange than what it is, but I really like it.
Oh, thanks for
Let's see here. I want a different brush.
Figure in the
I want
Star Wars
something
expanded
smaller.
universe. Would you like to tell us a little bit about how you first got into writing for Star Wars?
Let me see here. I'm going to use this little itty bitty chisel brush.
It was pretty much
I don't know if you can see that.
What had happened was
SWA, hello. How are you doing?
And who had worked for me at TSR.
This guy talking here, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's Troy Denny.
And he knew that.
What are your thoughts about Troy Denny?
In Star Wars, that I loved it. And so when they got the Star Wars license, he contacted me and said, hey, how would you like to do some Star Wars projects for us? And I was like, oh, I could do that. And so the first job he gave me was to go through the list of unknown characters and species in the cantina scene. And he said, all right,
that needs to be a little bit darker.
All these guys so that we know what they are and what kind of species they are and so forth.
Yes,
so
Purist, I am listening to episode 4. Can you guys hear? Do you want me to turn it up a little bit more? And you guys can also chat about that, and I can join with you guys in on the chat as well.
Change sex in the middle of their life cycle.
Interesting.
She wrote that up and said, all right, this is what the huts are. And because she was very much into biology in college.
And it talks about the huts.
All of that stuff. And I was like,
huts being hermaphrodites.
Change sex. And she's like, no, it's a real thing. Slugs do it all the time.
Slugs do it all the time. And so the huts are slugs.
After the West End games, she also did some Choose Your Own Adventure and little modules.
I'm all caught up with the Hollow Nets documentary. I didn't watch it last night.
10, 15 years
and then I was going to do it today in paint. And then my day just turned into a totally different direction.
Salvatore, and of course, our friends, we wrote together in the Forgotten Realms. And Bob is the reason that I was asked to write in Star Wars, because he knew that I was interested in Star Wars. He was writing Vector Prime, And he said, hey, call up Troy, see if he wants to participate in this. He'd be a great addition.
Bob told me.
Who would like a copy of this Boba Fett one?
And, you know, if you'd be
Boba Fett
interested,
painting.
you
Should I
should
add
contact
this
them because they
to?
know who you are and they know that
I have to
you
check my emails, by the
are
way.
Star Wars. And so he gave me the contact information, and I sent Shelley a letter, I think it was at the time, because even that was so far back that, you know, that it was in the day of dot matrix printers. So I sent her a letter, you know, it was introduced.
This is what I use to mix the paint, and I'm just using the paint off of this, so paint doesn't go to waste. So my mini palette.
Interested. We'll do something with you. And so a month later, nothing had come along, and, you know, called her up and said anything, and she said, not yet. And then another month later, I called her up and said, anything? She said, not yet. So I did.
OG, what EU book would you consider underrated? Like Rogue Planet is underrated. You know what? Black Fleet Crisis. Black Fleet Crisis is what I think is underrated.
Out of the blue and said, okay, we're ready to make an offer.
And you guys can answer back too.
Well, we don't really need a proposal. We know what we want you to write. And I said, okay, what is that?
I really need some more light here.
I can't tell you. Oh, okay. I guess I'll sign the contract.
So you had to sign it without knowing
Thank
exactly what you were
you.
going to be writing about.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was, of course, the new Jedi Order.
Yep.
It was a big secret. And
Melvin uses the wrong voice. Okay, so what makes you think that he uses the wrong voice?
So I finally
What type of voice do you think he needs to use?
A couple of weeks after that, I get the story
I'm
Bible.
curious.
My friend Bob Salvatore is writing Vector Prime. And I'm going through all the plot points for all 21. It was 21 books at the time.
Make that a little bit more darker, and then I gotta add the little bit of wear, like the dings, I guess you could say, the scratches or the dents.
I don't even get any further than that. I get on the phone and call him. Like, you killed Chewbacca. You killed Chewbacca. He looks at me and he says, you haven't finished reading the Bible, have you? So I go back and read the Bible, and of course I'm thinking I'm killing Han or some damn thing. And I was actually kind of relieved to see it was only, you know, Anakin. It was still quite a shock.
Killing Anakin's
And at this point,
Solo.
Vector Prime hadn't come out yet. Nobody had read it except the proofreaders.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm reading
Anybody
through the
else?
points for Vector Prime.
Can you guys
This is the part
hear
where Chewbacca dies.
the interview?
I call up my friend Bob Salvatore and I said, you killed Chewbacca, you know? I didn't even get past that. And he kind of gets quiet for a minute, and then he starts laughing and says, wait till you see who you kill.
Wait till you see who you killed. Damn. Everybody was on the chopping
I
block.
looked ahead to my book and go down there, and I'm like reading all this stuff that happens in that. Anakin Solo dies. Oh my God. Kurt
That is so
oh, no.
intense.
And I was like, oh, now I see why they wanted me to sign the contract before they told me what I was writing.
Let's see
When
here.
I saw what happened in that book, I knew, all right, this is
Nice.
going to be either a book that makes me or breaks me. Because after this, I will never have trouble getting another book to write again, or I will never be able to write another book. It'll all depend on how I handle it.
Wow, I think he handled it pretty
Your
well.
first, book in this franchise, you had to kill off a character like that.
Yeah, well, it was a little bit intimidating, and it was also, not only that, but Coruscant Falls, and that was, to my mind, almost as big a deal as killing Anakin. So it was a big surprise, and it was intimidating, but also, I took one look at the list of plot points that they had in the original story Bible,
Okay.
and I realized it was.
I don't know if you guys could see what I am painting. I wish I could zoom in. I can't do that on this end.
So I was really excited about doing it. And then
Nice.
we had a story meeting right before.
And of
the
course,
story
I have
deadline.
coffee.
So
Cheers.
we were all throughout the Skywalker Ranch and had a meeting and talked about how the story was progressing so far and what we were going to add to the story and needed to take from the story. And at this meeting, they just kept pulling things that hadn't
That's really
quite
gonna
gotten
make it
done in
green,
the
I
earlier
think.
books and putting them back into Star by Star, or the book that would become Star by
No,
Star.
I think I like that
And then
one
they
better.
started looking
I
at
don't know.
the later books, and they were worried about pacing, so they started moving some of the things that were in those later books back into Star by Star.
No.
And so we started adding all these plot points to the.
Okay, I need some kind of light.
list of
I'm
plot
gonna
points
check
I
the
had.
lighting out for this.
And when we go to dinner that
I'm
night,
not
and I
ditching you
looked at
guys.
Shelley and I said, Shelley,
I'm
we've
not
got to
ditching
talk
you
about
guys.
the length of this book." He said, "Well, you don't think you'll have enough material?" And I said, no, I'm kind of worried about the outlet. I think it's going to take me probably twice as many words as we have contracted to
I can get in here.
write this book. And
There
she
gives
said,
me a
"What's
little
that
bit more
problem?" I
light.
said, "Well, not for me if it's not for you. But I've been writing in there
Hi.
for lines where they
See,
didn't want you to
OG, what's your
know
favorite
about it.
Anakin and
Like,
Obi-Wan EU story outside of the movies?
don't worry,
Ooh,
you can go over it."
Battle of Jabim. Battle of Jabim.
That was kind of the story. You know, it took
That's
quite a
my
while to
favorite.
write the book too, of course, because it was such a long one.
At least that's one of my favorites.
I believe it was around
Let's see here.
624 pages.
That is too green.
Yeah.
So
I might have to
you know,
go
what
for
was it
a
like
gray
working,
in there
with such an
instead.
ensemble cast of writers on such a large series like that, as far as, you know, maybe different from previous experience that you had where you would just be working on something by yourself?
Well, it was
I'm so used to interacting with you guys like crazy from CapChat.
Um,
It feels kind of weird not
the-
responding to you guys right away
sessions
and not
that we had
having
at
a set
Skywalker
topic
Ranch were-
in discussion with you
When
guys.
first you got to go to Skywalker
So-
Ranch. And that was
Kinda
really cool. We
weird,
got to,
but-
you know, have tours of it.
Hey, I'm
I got see
trying
the
to find
that went to
a
George Lucas's
some
office,
time
which was-
to have
as close as
paint
anybody
and
gets
chat
to
and just let it
gets
be
to his office,
casual.
I
Guys can talk and answer or ask
Actually,
me
at the time that I was there,
questions
they
and
would cast
all that
And,
fun stuff.
The girl who played Zam Wilson.
Maybe I need to grab this in my hand.
She was actually apparently in contract negotiations or anything that she was running around at the time, and I didn't
Okay, this
recognize
is a
her
little
until
bit more
later in
better.
the movies, and it's like,
Not
oh,
as
wait a
dark
minute.
as I want it,
She was a-
Never know who you're going to run into.
but
up
it's
there.
not turning green.
So it was pretty cool. I mean, it was very, very cool to be involved in that because there were so many different authors
Let's see
involved.
if I could still
It
add
became a
a
little bit more of a
smidgen
coordination headache than even
to make it
the
look
later
dirty
series
at
that I was
least,
involved with,
but
because,
not
you know, you're
green.
coordinating with guys that are only going to be involved for a book or two. Trying to get everything, you know, it would be mailing it from in front of me, you know, what everybody was going to do there, and then mailing it for the 3 books and behind me.
Usually I have all my
Yeah,
paint
because
mixed
you work a lot more closely
already.
with people that were closer to your book. So it was kind of interesting. You know, I'd be working like with Matt Stover. We'd be sending emails back and forth, and he'd say, "I want you to do this," and then like a week later, he'd say, "No, I want you to do
I
this."
still think it looks
You know,
too
we'd go back and
green.
forth because you know he would be as he was writing, he would have ideas that would occur to him.
I'm gonna try it anyways.
Playing with
Going
things
in.
that worked,
Going in.
but, he was very fluid in terms of his own
Let's
story.
see what you guys are saying.
Because I had to coordinate with him on what Vigaria was doing.
He was trying to make
True. True. The Battle of Jabin is a huge story that OG did multiple streams about it. Yep. Thank you. Yep, that is a good one.
I need to know what you want.
Okay. Anything else going on in the greater Star Wars world, you guys? Any announcements or anything?
To a certain extent. I
Let's see,
remember
I don't know if I'm
Kathy
gonna
Tyler's
make
book.
this.
I read the
I
outline.
think it's gonna be okay.
And then I think the Star by Star manuscript was 800 pages, and I was about 400 through it when I got Kathy Tyler's book in her final draft, and saw that, holy cow, that's, you know, she did everything that she said she was going to do in the outline, but it was all about 15% off of what I had expected. You know, just
Right.
between her interpretation of the characters was a little bit different than what I had expected it to be.
Okay, it's not gonna be
So I had to go
exactly
back and
smooth
redo all
because
the
we know there's a lot of wear and tear
and that first 400
on
pages
his
of-
armor and stuff,
of
so
the
I'm not
story.
worried about
And,
that.
kind of
And then
angle
as
in
it
a different
dries, I'm
slightly
gonna come in
different way
here
to
and
maintain
do the little
continuity.
dents and
So it
dings
was
that
a
are
real
in
learning
this
process.
shoulder.
It was a huge learning curve, I know, for the editors too. Because
Armor here?
as crazy as it was for each author, they were trying to stay
Let
on
me
top
see
of
here.
all of the authors.
Hi there, how you
I don't
doing? The
think I
Bosco
actually
scenario.
stay informed about all of the communications between
Why
the
do
different authors
Star
so that
Wars
it just
Disney
wouldn't be
fans
impossible.
ignore the
They were,
diversity
you know,
of the
in
EU?
charge
Like
of kind of coordinating.
Juhani
I
was
don't
the
have
first
to-
lesbian in Star Wars
So,
history.
something would come in that
I don't know. It's
the outcome that I
it's
expected, but
what
the
Disney
authors
fed
all
them.
ended up all being-
It's like they're
all fine with it.
sheeple. It's like they're robots, and they believe everything that Disney has fed them. In a sense, I need to hold this.
Yeah, it was a truly unique product. I don't know if anything's ever been attempted before like that or since.
No, there really hasn't been. Not that scope.
Yeah.
Even now, looking back at the New Jedi Order, the scope that series had and kind of the foresight and how that was all planned.
Yeah, it was the first time.
There,
that
it's
they
also supposed to
tried
look dirty
something like that.
too. So
And
hopefully, I know
they
you
were
guys
using
can't
a
see it
huge
very well.
cast of authors.
It's
I mean,
dark, but not
they
as
were,
dark
I
as
think, originally like 22 or
needed,
23
but
books
that's okay.
to be included in the series. You know, no author was going to write more than 2 or 3, I think is what they had decided. So they were, going through authors like you couldn't believe, just burning through them. And, Bob was just finishing up Vector Prime when I was starting Star by Star.
Mhm.
So that's the kind of lead times that were involved. And everybody who published in between us was still writing. And we were all trying to coordinate with each other, make sure that the story was, the story in the book that followed Vector Prime was going to be the story I expected when it got to Star by Star. So there was, I don't even want to think about how many.
What books do you guys want to see
maybe even
for
100,000
Cap Chat
emails,
Book of the Week?
were generated for that.
If you guys are
project.
privy
Massive amount.
to what books are already
As many
shown,
pages as we wrote in manuscript, probably wrote that many pages again in email.
it could be comics, it could be source book.
Of his stories, I was writing Star by Star, and then Lane was starting to do Dark Journey right after, as I was finishing up Star by Star, and we had to work together and adjust our stories and do a lot of coordinating that way. Basically, when you start the process, you have a starting point. They say this is the situation at your starting point, and this is the situation at your ending point.
Hey there,
And you're free to
Submaster
do
76.
pretty
How
much
you
anything
doing?
You need to in between those points. And so, for instance, when I was doing Star by Star, I introduced the box, and that was something that I felt I needed to have for my story.
Mm-hmm.
And it hadn't existed before I did my outline. And Greg was working on his stories, and they weren't, in that. And I said, well, I'm going to have these blocks and then the stories. And Greg said, well, would you like me to foreshadow them a little bit in this story? I could do it this way. And so that's where the coordination comes through.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I did a few things with, for instance, for Elaine, she said, okay, I want to start my story at this point, which meant that I had to actually add like one little chapter. The chapter were flying away from the planet.
Soul Assassin, you are just really at it tonight, aren't you? Is it your bedtime already? Are you cranky? Do you need a Snickers bar or something? Are you okay? Are you calling for help? Oh, shit.
Just perfectly in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think because of all the people involved were so good-willed and so eager to work with each other.
Mm-hmm. From the time of Vector Prime to Star by Star, did the NGO storyline evolve, change path from where the basic storyline was done?
Oh, yeah. The basic ideas were still set, but how you get there has changed a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
There are several versions of the Bible because it gets updated as new ideas come along.
Which part of Star by Star were your initiative, and what others were from a strict storyline from Del Rey?
Yeah, that's a hard question to answer. Let's see. I remember.
Okay, I think I got it. I thought I jacked up the
original concept
handle
when I
of
read it,
Blaster.
I had to sign
Let's see what
the
you guys
contract
have to
do the
say.
book before I read the Bible. But when I read what I was going to be doing, my job.
Yes, Legends Con is coming up. Get your tickets if you want to win a copy of a painting from me. Buy your tickets, email it to me, ogstarwar77@yahoo.com. ogstarwar77@yahoo.com, all lowercase.
My job just decide.
Let's see here. You can say I'm pretty fuck you. So, oh my God.
My plot and so forth. I said, well, I don't want him to fall for some minor problem just in the course of a battle or something. It has to be something major that's going to be really important.
Let's see
And so
here.
that's where the idea of the boxing began to develop.
At one point, you had to kill Anakin Solo in some way. Did you have different ideas on how his death could be portrayed? and describe the difficulty to write the death of a major character like Anakin.
Yeah, it was, when I read that, I knew that it was.
He is starting to look pretty cool now, you guys. Look at this.
Break it. And so I decided I would have
The
to
magic
pay off
of
the
myth.
And the first thing I decided
Okay.
was that he wasn't going to go alone. It wasn't just going to be.
Have 33
you know,
beautiful
walking
souls
some
here.
nights
Thank you
and
guys for
the
sitting
uniform
in
or
and
something.
watching
It had to
me
be something
paint
that had
and
to,
chatting with me,
tremendous impact.
hanging out.
So I decided, well, I'm going to have to bring in a bunch of, you know, some other Jedi are going to have to go with him because it's going to have to be a big battle. It's going to have to be something desperate. And then I decided, well, I don't really want to start killing off a bunch of named Jedi that are already in existence. So I a bunch that I could use for that purpose. So that was one of the goals that I had, or one of the ideas I had to try and make the death worthy. And of course, the Boxen, as we've already discussed, they were the threat that was significant enough to the New Jedi Order, or to the Jedi themselves, to justify the desperate mission that they had to undertake.
The writing team said, all right, we're going to up the ante, we're going to raise the stakes. And obviously, when we opened up with a Vector Prime, R.A. Salvatore's first novel, the first foray in New Jedi Order, we begin with a bang. We witness Chewie's epic death, right? He stands, he shouts at the moon, and this very colorful and tragic scene going on there. Obviously, Han Solo's child, Anakin Solo, is saved. But we get to book number 9 by you, Star by Star. And it has arguably some of the most significant events in the expanded universe.
Star
We
by
have the Jedi
Star.
Strike Team, who is assigned
What did
to
you
the
guys
murder
think
to go and
about
destroy this
Star
Boxen
by
Beam.
Star?
And they do succeed, but at the very
OG, is Star Wars
we have this
Republic your
tragic
favorite
loss
comic
of the
series,
youngest of the Solo
or is
children,
it
and
another?
the decision of killing a major character.
You know, that's
I can
debatable because
confirm
I
that
switch
it was
favorites
always
a
part of
lot.
the plan from the time Del Rey took over the license.
I do like Legacy as well.
Chewbacca, and then to kill Anakin. You have to remember that Bantam ceded the license, and Del Rey took the license over.
Let's see where there's
And
some
they got
red
there,
right
said Del
here.
Rey, Shelley
I
Shapiro,
didn't realize I
Kuya
did that. I
Wang,
can go back there with my white
Steve
later.
Sapple.
Cover it up.
We had a very strong sense that there was no peril left. The heroes were never in danger. And that was just a function of the licensing world at the time. And so when they took it over,
I don't have the colors mixed. I don't
imagine
have the
them
colors
having a
mixed for the
conversation with Lucas
jetpack
when something
here,
like
the
this,
back here.
We're not going
So I got to do that
Let's
later. I
kill
think I
some
will
big
do that later.
characters.
And I
Lucas
forgot
got
the
one
belt. There's part of
and
the
of
belt
course, that's
pack here,
how it came up,
which
to
looks like it'll be
begin
burnt
the
umber
series.
with
I mean,
some
Vector Prime was
orange
their first book in that whole series.
and some
Del Rey's first book after they took over the license.
maybe a little bit of
Began it
a
with killing
Mars
Chewie.
black, but I
So,
don't want to go that
Yeah,
deep of
that
a
was to let
dark
them know
color.
that you were serious. And then 9 books later, this was part of their plan from the beginning.
So what do you guys think
Before
about
the
Star by Star?
was to kill Anakin in the 9th book. And so that was always part of the plan.
How hard
However,
you use it. Right to do it, you have to shoot.
let me go. Sometimes I use my brushes to mix too.
It's your will that you got.
Not very healthy for the brush, but
It wouldn't be fair
it's useful.
to do it against my will, but it would be fair to say that when I signed the contract, I wasn't aware of what I had to do. I didn't get to look at the plot lines.
Gotta get the Wookiee braid in here, so it's gotta be a brown, orange, cinnamon kind of color, I guess you could say.
I decided, well, I don't really want to.
So I'm mixing that.
It seemed like it would be a bigger impact. So I decided.
And I also have to have a little bit of lighter color in that just to give it some character and texture, but it's gonna be so small that it's not gonna be a huge difference. Did you know when you mix 2 primary colors together, you get a brown? So you get different shades of browns with the different shades of the 2 primary colors. Not primary, complementary. Sorry, I messed up on that. But when you mix 2 complementary colors together, like red and green, you get a brown or you get a gray, depending on if they're on the warmer side or the cooler side of the spectrum of the prism or the colors. So just a little bit of history on colors.
I'm actually this. I have a full lessons for you to write.
Let's see here. I have only read the prequel era and Old Republic era. I will plan to read the New Jedi Order one day. You should join us now. I am on book 5. I believe it's 5. Or I'm going on book 5. Anyways, of in the series. I feel like I'm back in art class. Oh God, that was my favorite class of all time, art class. Darth Malvin is live. I forgot that he was gonna go live, that he does. So you guys, I'm just chatting and painting with you guys. Well, not with you, but you know what I mean. So thank you for being here with me.
When a group of these young Jedi, they're communicating with their allies off planet, and I believe the Falcon is at one point hovering over there, but they can't pick up the kids.
Doing the
And they're all
Wookiee braids right
struggling. Some
now.
of them are straggling and being left behind, and Anakin coming forth and reaching that maturity, and becoming the beacon of light in that very extreme situation.
This is Boba Fett.
Powerful. You know,
He's a
very
badass
touching and sweet
compared to what
moment,
Disney made him out to be.
blossoming first love between Anakin Solo and Tahir. Why was it important to include that, knowing that you would kill off Anakin?
Well, again, it stinks. First of all, you don't ever want to make a death easy. I mean, if you're going to kill a character, you want to do it in a way that's going to be painful.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to make it cheap, you know? And so it was important to show that Anakin was not just this young action hero. It's that he's a kid. You know, there's people who love him and count on him. He's got a future. And really what developing that relationship with Tahiri was all about was, you know, showing that his future is going to be stolen from him.
It's in a way almost like a Romeo and a Juliet story.
Let's see here what you guys are saying.
In a Romeo and Juliet, you have two warring families, but here obviously
Double A says I'm on both streams. Well, thank you. Lucas era Boba Fett lore is far superior than Disney Star Wars Boba Fett. I agree. And thank you guys for hanging out with me as well as Darth Melvin.
That Anakin isn't the only one who suffered. You know, think about Tahiri, his brother and sister.
And the aftermath with Han, right? We see the aftershock of that in the next couple of novels, which gradually, it still shows you that the person is hurting. It's a living, breathing human being. It's not just like, oh, the end of the book, let's move on to the next one. It's like a serialized TV show. It really translates into the future stories.
Yeah.
That one I'll add darker tones into it later. Just like when I add all the like scratch dings on the shoulder plates. I have the little insignia here that I have to do.
Anakin was the one who died, but you didn't.
That's going to be in gray. And then do a correction here. Finish the jetpack area here. Go through just little areas of here. Decide if I'm going to do little stars here and there. Or just leave as is.
That even knew him. I mean, you know, think about what it did to Tahiri.
Let's see here. Lucas era Boba Fett lore is. Oh, I read that one already. Ugh. I know the stream is, the chat isn't hopping as much.
Right now, you know, it's like after Chewbacca, Anakin died. You know,
and I wasn't expecting
Chewbacca
it.
died first saving
It's all
Anakin. Now
good.
Anakin's dead, so I'm afraid we're gonna find him like drunk in an alley or something. This could be ugly.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna add a little bit of color here where I know this brown is at.
Is there one Jedi in particular that you really want to kill? Like
Sometimes when I mix a color, if I know that color is needed somewhere else, I will fill it in there before I move on.
A very lucky man that he has some guardian angels that would know, right? Because I've always Kit for me has always been kind of an irritating character. And I've never, I have to admit that.
Like they give Boba Fett and Jango Fett more development in the expanded universe, yes. Same with Wedge.
And
Wedge and
when I
Phillies.
say huge, why there are a lot of people that really like him.
I got to agree with you. He's kind of a little bit of an annoying Jedi.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't learn is the problem with me that I've had with him is that, you know, he goes through and he makes these mistakes, and that's fine. Everybody makes mistakes, and even if it does, you know, involve blowing up a world.
Yeah.
But he never seemed to learn from them. And I think that what I liked about what Elaine did with him was that she had him learn something from his experiences, and he became a much wiser, more interesting character for me.
What'd you guys think about Kip Duran?
Previously.
In Star by Star, your Borg's fella goes out like a hero. Somewhat, after years of being a sniveling opportunist, what is Lucas' book's ideas to have him gain some sort of a minute redemption, or is that your call?
Well, I had received we had about 1 million emails that go back and forth about the idea for Star by Star and, you know, what was supposed to happen in the story. And in one of those, somebody, and I have no idea who it was, said I would kind of like it if Boris went out, you know.
Yes, it is Camino.
Of a hero.
It's Camino.
That idea just clicked, and so I said, yeah, I think I'll try and do it. And so I wrote it in the outline, and everybody said, oh, wow, what a great idea. What an original idea.
Okay, I'm going to show you guys.
And I guess they forgot that it was actually their own idea.
Let me go ahead and clean off this paintbrush before I put it down.
This is just what you guys suggested. But, oh, no, we didn't suggest it. So it was somebody there's idea, and I'm not sure who it was.
But you still get the credit for it.
So there we go. Not done yet, of course. But I got the yellow laid down.
I don't really know whose idea it was. And I just kind of
The customary yellow.
What was your first?
Might go a little darker on the shading in some areas, a little bit more orange maybe, because the orange is also showing a little bit of the darkness shadow. And the belt, belt I got to work on. The braids I will work on too. And that strap there, I'm deciding what color I need it for it to be. I might just make it black. And the jetpack area. And then I'm going to touch up around in the space area, maybe add a few stars or maybe not. And I think all I got to do is make a correction on the planet. And I am done. I am done. For those that don't know my that are new to me with my painting and stuff, let me go grab what I'm having to offer you guys. Are those who buy tickets to Legend Con and sends me their receipts. So let me go ahead and get some of the stuff out of my way.
You did assume you did in fact die during Star by Star.
Assume nothing.
Assume nothing. As one of my friends used to say,
Make sure I don't get paint on these. My hands are clean. Because that would be a bummer if I have to correct.
About the huge cast of characters in Star by Star. Any particular ones you enjoyed writing more than others?
I enjoyed writing them all because they're all my children. I love writing Hanalei, obviously. Luke was a lot of fun, but he's a very difficult character to write because he's
all right.
You know, he's so powerful that you have to be careful.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here is one. You're not going to get the actual copy, the actual print. This will go for a lot more than a regular print. So here is Asajj Ventress. This one is called Mistress of Rat Attack. Here is a Son of Kifu, Quinlan.
Yeah, you include.
So if you buy a ticket for Legends Con and send me a copy of your receipt to OG Star Wars, let me go ahead and type it in the chat.
Well, one of my pet peeves in watching movies is that
it is hard.
Class of movie where you watch at action movies,
typing
and it starts off
at a
with
different
big action scene,
angle,
and then they think that developing the plot and building it to a climax just consists of more action, right? Until you get to the end where you have people out running fireballs.
Oh my god, I feel so out of whack.
And that always feels hollow to me.
.com.
And so knowing that Star by Star
OGStarWars.com. Oh, that's his code. It's supposed to be com.
Think about what that And the way that
You will
build
receive a
action
copy
gives
from
action
me.
meaning
You will receive a
is
copy
that
of me of
you
your
raise the
choice.
stakes,
I might throw
right?
this
So,
guy in.
In the first third of a
This
book,
one is
this
not
what I
on
did.
board like the other
The
two
first
are.
third of a book, there's
This one
something
is
at
on
stake
flat
that's usually good.
actual canvas.
You know,
So
the
this will,
character
once I
is
get
gonna do
prints
something that
made,
he doesn't achieve something.
it'll have a little bit of
And then in
texture
the second,
to it. These are
third of the
smooth
book,
looking because
those
of the fact
stakes
that they are
become
on a board.
universal.
This
So
right
that
here I
something,
have
you know, like this
got cat here on it
beautiful
because the
community
cat
is
decided.
gonna lose
This
something,
is another one I
and he
did. I
doesn't
really don't
succeed,
care
he
for
fixes the
this
problem.
one of Luke
And then
Skywalker.
where do you go
I just
from
didn't
there?
like how it turned out.
You know, it's like, right, you know, the
But I
world's
do
gonna
have
end if
prints
I don't
of
fix
Luke
this problem.
Skywalker if
Well, where do you
anybody
go
wants a
from there?
print of Luke
And
Skywalker.
that's when you go to this
So let's see
spiritual
here.
place, where the character has to make a decision that's
Woohoo.
gonna define
I
who
really
he
do
is.
want to
And
paint
that's how you increase
that jet. I'm going to finish the
stakes and
jetpack
increase
too,
the
but I don't want to be on
depth
here
and
too
make
long. We're coming up on an
the
hour.
action scene
I just
make the
wanted to hang out for an hour,
If you don't do
chat
that,
with you
the
guys,
climax is just,
catch up.
you know,
Cap
it's just
chat
fireworks.
is
And if you do that,
this
and
Thursday, so I'm
it could
excited
be
to get
just
into that because we have
the
a lot to
simplest,
talk about.
smallest piece of action. But if the character's whole spirit is at stake and who he is and you know what kind of person he's going to be or is, then you end up making a
Can I do
really,
that?
really important
Everything's
action
all
scene.
brown, gray,
The
and
action itself
orange.
can be something, you know, as simple as
Oh, I
going
love
to
how
the store
gray lightens it
or,
up,
you know,
but it doesn't
just a decision to do
make
one
it too white
violent
or
act
too white in
or
tone.
not to do one
Still
violent
keeps it
Now, on
relatively
that same
brown.
subject, one thing readers will certainly notice, pain is a very common theme in a lot of your books, both Star Wars and non-Star Wars. Did you have a lot of injuries growing up?
Well, not as many as my younger brother.
I like that one, the
Yeah,
Quinlan Voss
I've had a
painting, like
few. I mean, I
a
played
boss. Thank you.
football all through
I
high school and
appreciate
through
that.
college. I played Division III football for 4 years in college. And then I was raced on our high school ski team and was an all-state ski jumper. So I've had my fair share of injuries. I mean, you know, half a dozen concussions and knee injuries and dislocated or broke every finger on my hand, you know, so I've had a little bit of experience.
So have you drawn a lot of that into your stories then when you do injuries to your characters?
The injuries that I've really had have always been things that I consider relatively minor compared to some of the things that happened to
All
the
right,
characters in my book.
that
But it
looks
does give you,
good.
you know, kind of an
Smash the
experience,
like button.
something to draw on in terms of realizing, you know, okay, when you get injured, how do you physically feel?
Oh, look at the
You know, I've
jetpack.
had enough of that experience.
I just white paint all
be
over
able
my
to
leggings, so
translate.
I didn't wipe it on purpose.
The heroes in your
Oh
novel
wow, that's what
often
happens
go
as an
through a lot
artist.
of
We
pain
have
as they
clothing that
transition through the
has
story. Is there a reason why that
paint.
is such a strong thematic influence in your stories?
I'm a guy who wrote a book called Pages of Pain.
Boba Fett. Boba Fett. It's not
Yeah,
Boba
you know, I
Fett.
think that the real reason that there's a lot
Damn
of pain
it.
in my book is because, you know, pain is a teacher. And, you know, on every level. If you think about it, when you growing up and you burn your fingers on a burner or something, I mean, it teaches you that fire is dangerous.
Okay.
And when you make a mistake and give
I hate it when I search
you
for
know,
Boba
it teaches
Fett or
you
any
more
original
about
characters and you
what people
get
thought
automatically
date or
the stupid
fall in love with. And to that extent, I've always
oh, there's a
been
copper in that.
aware of
Okay.
pain and
You get a
because really the
stupid
crucible that people go through
Disney
before they
version.
become old and wise.
When you're writing in the NGO series or in the expanded universe, are you
By the
when
way,
you're
Disney
writing them,
shills
or
are
is
having
the licensing giving you
are still having a
time to grow
meltdown over the Acolyte show because it's #2 watch show on Disney Plus. Like that matters. Oh yeah, I know. It doesn't matter. Does not matter whatsoever.
What, you know, I have a lot of other writers working.
They don't realize
And for that reason alone, you have to stick
that
close to it.
that
But there were a few
#2
places where
spot
I'd be writing along and I would say, I would have an
means
idea, and I would say,
that they
well,
are
I can do
second
that.
worst
And I would decide,
in
well, it might be just too far.
not only the
And,
platform
I
of
wouldn't do that idea, and then I would
Disney
go,
Plus,
the story.
but
When I saw the
in
big
all
process
streaming.
and
All
doing
streaming.
Star, I saw that, you know, the producers and everybody that's involved with that are all very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And they never, you know, they never poo-poo an idea just because it's not an outline or anything. Wrote Tatooine Ghost, I was I felt much freer to just go where I wanted to and try different things. And I knew.
How many of you guys have read Tattooing Ghosts?
Weren't going to work, but I knew that I couldn't predict which ones were going to work and which ones weren't. And then the worst thing that would happen is when somebody would say, well, that one doesn't work, maybe you can do it this way. And so I felt really free with Tattooing Ghost. And with, with Star by Star, I didn't really pull any punches. I felt that anything I felt I really needed to try, I went ahead and tried. But there were, some things that were a little bit wilder or a little bit riskier or riskier,
but
that I didn't do because I thought, well, that won't fly. And now in retrospect, I would have tried them and let them say, that won't. Let them tell me that because they weren't going to be upset with me for trying it.
Yeah, but they seem very open to ideas, I think.
Yeah, they're very open to ideas. That's been my experience. Is that if you're doing something and it works and you have a good solid reason for doing it, they're really open to it.
I have a theory. Darth Thunder
Did you
is
have
Star
any
Wars.
personal feedback on George
Star Wars
Lucas?
theory alt.
No, I didn't have any personal.
Hmm.
I never met George or worked with him directly. I suspect that a few of the comments that I got back on some of my outlines and
Interesting.
so forth
Interesting
had come
theory.
from George because everything ran through him at that time. But I wouldn't know what comments were his and what comments were Howard Rothman's or somebody else's. What we were told about the expanded universe was that it was canon until George says it's not. So it was always that George could overrule anything we did. But up to that point, we had to consider it canon. And it was more of an obligation than a reward because it meant that we had to really know the canon that came before us. So, by the time I wrote Star by Star, I think there had been something like 80 novels already out. So I had to know, I didn't have to know them intimately, but I had to know the story and the background and the general plots of all of those and the character arcs for any of the characters that I was going to use who had appeared in those previous novels. So the research was immense, even before I started. And I started as a fan and somebody who had read certainly Timothy Zahn's and Kevin J. Anderson's books. And so I had read probably 25 or 30 of the 80 books. But that left me like 50 books to read.
I'm still not done with them.
Yeah, I took a lot of work
To get to the dark side.
beyond any human.
All right. Let's see. What time is it? Oh, okay. Did you hear that?
At filling in authors on
He said that what we've always been reiterating.
So without those guys, it would
That
have been an impossible task.
Star Wars
to even
was
include all
canon
the
unless
characters
George
that he
said
had
it
in Star
wasn't.
by
But
Star.
George never
And I knew
declared
a lot of the
anything
characters
not
in Star by Star
canon
came from Kevin J. Anderson,
in his history
Young
with
Jedi Knight
his
series.
company.
And I had read those and the books that he had written with Rebecca, the Junior Jedi Knights. But I'd read all those and loved them and thought, oh gosh, and I'm going to be writing about Anakin, so I'm going to be able to bring on all of these characters. And I brought all of them in, but I wouldn't have been able to keep them nearly as tight to continuity if it hadn't been for Leland Chi and Pablo.
In an early draft of Star by Star, I had named one of the ships. There was a Mon Mothma, which I understand there's been quite a controversy about the class of it.
Okay.
It was also, its sister ship was named the Admiral Akbar. And I had not intended that I would have killed either one of them by naming a ship after him.
Mm-hmm.
But as it turned out that when you name a ship after a certain character, that character is considered dead because they don't name ships after living characters.
Mm-hmm.
So they let me do it with Mon Mothma. And that's kind of how she ended up being declared dead, was kind of through an accident.
Whoops.
On my part.
Mon Mothma.
And I almost killed Admiral Akbar that way. So I guess I'm just relieved that they didn't let me do that and allowed somebody else to do it.
Yeah. As an author, what are your comments on the expanded universe versus the official stories of the movie? What would you say to fans that deny the expanded universe because it's not written by George Lucas?
Well, my view on the expanded universe is that it's simply an extension of the official George Lucas universe.
Yeah.
And I think that you have to look at it in terms of hierarchies of what do you want to say, legitimacy, or hierarchies of what counts.
Yeah.
And of course, everything in the movies is the first hierarchy. What is said there goes.
Yeah.
And then there's an expanded universe, and of course, George can't possibly write everything that Reed or play in with the Star Wars universe, so he has to delegate some of that responsibility to other people like myself. And so we write what is, quote, official, but if it conflicts with George's material, I would be the first to say that you should go with George and what George says. And then, of course, there's a hierarchy below.
Yesterday and today, I was listening to George Lucas' Revenge of the Sith commentary on the film. Very insightful and informative to understand his pure storytelling and his story and his legacy. Correct. That's such a good listen or watch. Over an hour and a half of his explanation.
But we have to realize that everybody's world is going to be a little bit different because of their take or the things that they're interested in. Especially when you get down to the level of the fan fiction, because there's nobody to coordinate that material.
Would you see that the expanded universe is becoming the Star Wars universe?
I think it's almost a case of parallel universes.
Okay.
So that you have the first universe is George's universe, which is a little bit smaller because there's only really one person or one group of people determining the course of that universe. Whereas the expanded universe has many more people that you can use for resources. And so it is very similar to George's universe, but perhaps has some differences that, with some conflicts and differences, which are inevitable, really, when you have so many people doing so much with it.
I think my final thoughts are that I was incredibly privileged to be a part of a publishing experiment that included a 19-book series. I don't even know how much.
Yes, expanded universe is George's universe and vision. Yes, it is. It wouldn't exist if it wasn't because of George. People don't seem to understand that.
And great stories that carried the Star Wars universe in a wonderful direction and in an engaging direction, and one that kept readers engaged. So I don't know. I was just in the right place at the right time, and really lucky to be there.
Thanks a lot, Troy.
Hey, thank you for having me.
No problem.
Have a nice day.
I can't wait to talk to Troy Denning when I go to Legends Con.
Start by start.
Kyle Katarn. Wow, their voices. Oh.
So half time it was last minute, very good last minute. Step on a problem, much mess.
Continue, and for example, the kids get older, to focus on so many characters who all become major, and then none of them are at risk because they're all become too important. But a little funny thing, it's funny to me, is when it's saying I think it's so much of a character. Who's gonna care? So we made a point of building him up in the books until then. So then he dies. For me, how would you do this?
How can you kill Anakin? Or he's gonna nerd out at Legends Con. I sure am. Sure am.
So it's hard. It's just a balance we have to try to walk.
I wanted to ask quickly, Anakin, it was such a bold move for them to kill Anakin in the series, and it affected me and my brother reading it, and it was, but I felt that it was something that in the end, it caused a lot of change for Jaina and Jason's characters.
It sure did.
In a kind of a,
It causes change for every character. If you know how to do the writing, it causes change for every character.
because I think you said you read.
RG Stars, have you seen Mr. Greasy's video on the screen? Yes, I did. I left a comment. I actually knew about it before he made it.
I think it's very difficult for any reader when a beloved character dies, particularly when he's someone that shows so much promise. Here's a person that could have made a vast difference in the world. And to see that just dissipate is really hard.
I am liking how this
for any reader.
jetpack or this here is looking.
In times of history, there was some
This rocket launcher, I guess you could say, maybe part of the jetpack rocket launcher.
Area of interest for me is one of a Prince of England that died at the age of 18. Would have been an exceptional ruler.
I got a lot of shading going on.
Always seemed
Let's see here. I'm going to show you guys. Get
promise
this brush out
that
here
was
though.
just wasted.
It's been soaking too
And
long.
Anakin
And
obviously was
this Gamzol.
exceptional.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it so real for someone like Jaina or Jason, because now they have to step up to the plate and they don't feel like they're ready.
That's not
Let me show you guys. It's not done. Hey, grumpy old ninja.
Were introduced in NGO, especially to
So here you go. It's not done, but I'm getting all the shading, all the areas filled in the jetpack. I do, or the rocket launcher, I do need to get the copper part for it mixed, or at least see what color I'm going to use for it if I have something similar, so I don't have to fully mix it. But there you go.
I was fooled by it.
And then for the shoulder armor, I need to put in the dings, the scratches, the scratches, and the dents. And then just go through here and put in the texture for the Wookiee braid. Fill in any area that needs to be filled in that I see with my eye that I'm like, nope, I need to just go ahead and correct that or whatever. However, it is looking great. I still got to do here. I still got to touch up right here. I have to fill in right here. So the armor is relatively done, but there's just little mini pieces that needs to be done. And then the belt.
Really cool stuff they could have
See
been
here.
done, which is why in the two books that I did, I worked as hard
Let's
as
see
I
what you
could
guys are saying. 10 out of 10. Well, thank you so much. Boba looks good. Thank you, Grumpy.
because I was hoping secretly.
You elitist for real. Yes, for real. About an hour now. What is this? How long have I been missing painting streams? Well, today for about a little over an hour. So once I get a full setup that will give me accessibility to stream and paint with you guys, I will definitely do more. I think I need to correct right here. This is a spot I need to take care of. So that's coming, but right now I'm just using my laptop camera for this. And yeah, and I think it's doing pretty well, but I could have a better setup. So, yeah. Is there another character you have thought or think of you want to paint next? I'm doing a series. So these series are basically the origin series. So like Quinlan with Kifu and Kifar, Asajj with Ratatak, and then of course Boba's origin, like his birth of place, planet origin is Kamino. He was basically raised on Kamino before his father perished due to mace. I'm just talking real about that. And so I decided to do that. Oh, I see I need to add a little bit more here. Okay, that needs to be picked up.
Do you remember? Was there?
Or I can make it look like it's a scratch there and leave it.
Yeah,
Artist
not like it was with
prerogative, I guess you can say.
No, there was no.
I still need to add
no,
here
not
on
like
the
you
side
run
of
into
the
that
rocket launcher.
You know, everything.
But I'm
seemed
not
pretty
done with the
mild,
rocket launcher, so
you know,
it's all
because
good.
people were along for the ride then, and I mean, and it was good because
I love how
those kind of, you know, sort of like
the armor's looking and stuff though.
those sorts of deaths upset people because they know.
How about Jason versus Vader? A what if?
Going to go, or
I don't know.
Anyone's up for grabs now. Anything could happen, and that's.
You mean a painting, Jason versus Vader?
I can attest to that because when I read that,
I think the
series,
next origin one I want to
it was a
do.
double whammy when Anakin and the fall of Coruscant happens. then I remember for the first time in any Star Wars fiction, I don't remember feeling this way in any other book or any other series. Thinking to
There's
myself,
so many. Should I do a movie character next?
I mean, I just don't see. You guys have
Like if I did Ben Skywalker, he was born on
we don't know.
Booster Tarek ship Errant Venture. So imagine the ship behind him. If I do Luke, it'll be Tatooine.
Recovery in Forest Apart. What about recovery?
If I do Leia, and this is good. Soul Assassin has this crazy idea about that. But if I do Leia, fuck you with the Rey on Jakku. Soul Assassin has become an official Disney shill. If I do Leia, it would be Alderaan. Not exploding either. Not exploding either. If I did Padme, it'd be Naboo, of course, or even Palpatine would be Naboo. If I did Jango, it'd be Concord Dawn.
Balance point. And so that idea, they said, would you like to write this story?
How about Sidious and Naboo? I think I would do, if I did Sidious, I wouldn't do him with Naboo. I would do him with Coruscant. Yes, Leia with an Alderaan exploding. Yep, that's Soul Assassin is in rare form tonight. He is in rare form tonight. He is chilling for Disney. He is wanting an exploding Alderaan for her background planet, which I will not do. You are in rare form, sir.
You're the first person to ask this question, and the honest truth is, to quite a bit of extent, I do.
I know. There you go. I had pink too. My yellow finger, I'm jaundiced. Look, I'm jaundiced, soul. Look.
Thinking about her in terms of how Han would react and so forth,
with Leia crying in the painting. No, look at you got these guys talking now, Soul Assassin.
I don't know, if you would say she's as big a fan as I am.
Let me see here.
But probably pretty close, and she might even be a bigger fan in some aspects. She really loves Han and Leia.
Soul Assassin knows how to take it. He knows that. We love hacking on each other all the damn time. All right, let's see. So it's over an hour. I'm gonna finish painting, but I'm gonna close it here and clean up my hands, mix the copper, go through here and put the white on my, I need a little bit of like an off-white or a white for some highlighting, I guess you could say. And I'm going to finish painting in private, but I will share, if you follow me on Twitter, I will share the finished results. And yeah, so I just wanted to hang out with you guys, do a little bit of painting, chat with you guys, have some fun. And what are you guys chatting about? Wait, Dash Rendar meets Han Solo. Yes, they do meet. Only when the story requires it, AA. Yeah, and yeah, so I'm pretty excited about this. And I can't wait to share the results with you. It's going to be so good. Then we shall retweet. Yeah, OG Stars. I'll keep an eye out. Thank you, Grumpy Old Ninja. And follow me on Twitter. Yeah. So, and I will take recommendations on who to do next in the series, origin series of Star Wars painting I am doing. I do tweak them up a little bit so they're not exactly a copy of one of like their images from Star Wars. Like Quinlan Voss, his stance is reversed. Asajj Ventress what I did with her is she had Anakin and Obi-Wan with her in the cover, and I took them out, and I, of course, parts of them that were in front of her, you couldn't see her arm, so I had to fill in that, and so I filled out the arm space where their heads were at, and all of that. So, and then with Boba Fett, I used an older concept art of his, and then it was his shoulder armor, his collar, I guess you could say. It's more of a triangular, but in this concept art where I got it from, it's more round. So I'm just going to leave it. It's been bothering me, but I'm just going to leave it so it can be slightly different. So there will be slight differences. So those who are going to nitpick about that, this is why I'm doing that, is because of, it's my creative stance on these characters, and I don't want to exactly copy. I want to be inspired and do a replica, but not a copy, if that makes sense. Replica or whatever. Yeah. And you did it nicely. Yes. Thank you so much. Legends Con 2. So one more time, I would love to see you guys there. Boosting ticket sales, promoting Legends Con to you guys. If you buy tickets up until this Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Times, send me a copy of your receipt in my OG Star War 77 at yahoo.com email for my YouTube channel, and you will be entered to win a copy of one of your choice of the prints I have of Quinlan and Asajj. OG Star War 77 at yahoo.com. There's no S at the end of Star Wars. So it's OG Star War 77 at yahoo.com. Learn your lore and try to stump OG, Tim, Purist, and whoever else with your Star Wars questions. Yeah. Oh, we had fun doing the quiz on with Tim. That was fun. And I predominantly got most of them right. So pretty proud of myself with that. Let me see here. I would go, but I already booked plans and flight plans for spring break with fam out of the States. I can't go. I would have liked to. Well, sounds like you guys are gonna have fun. Enjoy yourself. That would have been cool to see you and meet you, but it's all good. I understand that too. Let's see here. Crimson Guard in Yinkor. Is that your recommendation? Is that your recommendation? Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to close out here. Let's see. OG should paint a painting of the Acolyte with that dude in the pool. Oh, fuck you. 7 out of 10 painting. All right. Oh my god. He's all dead. Marble Pierce is dead. Oh, I got paint on my hands. I shouldn't be doing that. Oh my god. All right, let's see here. There's big light there. It's been pretty handy for a lot of situations. Any other recommendations? Non-Disney faux lore. I will not take that. Soul Assassin has been bid on the dark side with just shilling for Disney. You hear that, purists? You hear that, everybody? Soul Assassin shilling for Disney Star Wars. Maybe with Darth Paz with his banjo. That would be, you know what? That would be a good painting of Scran, because he plays that on his guitar, I guess you could say, on his live. There goes my Grogu with the egg thing idea. I recommend Western games, Star Wars lore, good stuff in that tabletop RPG. Yes, I agree. I should do that. I should, because I'm not only a painter, you guys. Before we close, I'm gonna brag. All right. So this is I'm gonna go run and get it, but this is a sketch idea for my my art show that's coming up, Native Contemporary Art. This is just a sketch concept. It's going to be turned into something totally different, but with the same image. Let me grab it. All right. So you guys, I always say, and I'm not joking around when I say I am extremely busy. I am. That's why there's not that many lore videos going on my channel right now. But this right here is just a concept image of a Northern traditional dancer in his dance regalia. Of course, he's facing away. So this will be in a ledger art form, contemporary. I think I'm going to do acrylic painting and bead the bustle. This is eagle feathers. So I think I'm going to bead this part right here. And all of this is going to be acrylic. And then I'm going to put ledger paper around it. Just so we'll see. So this right here, this is just in charcoal colors, blacks and browns and charcoal the white. That's it. And I didn't fill this part in right now or when I was working on it. Got to finish that. But this is just a quick sketch concept. Then I started just coloring in with the charcoal pencils that I have. So this is something, a little piece that I've been considering working on, and it's going to be added to a bigger canvas, and it's going to have beadwork on it and all this other stuff. So there you go. So that's another thing going on in my life. Let me go put this back. You guys get to see my dirty table right there. It's my dirty table. Well, not dirty. It's just got paint. I have my this is like my Star Wars pile right here that I was doing research. I would have a pile of books from Star Wars that I have handy to do research. And of course, my canvas paper, my setup to paint here, my towels. Here is my palette. My little tray of paints, water, because girl needs her water. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna close here. OG Stars, you should paint Scran riding the Loch Ness monster while planning the backdrop. I'm highlighting this. Okay, I'm gonna read this again. This is so funny. OG, you should paint Scran riding the Loch Ness monster while playing the banjo like Boba Fett was riding that monster in the holiday special cartoon. I'm dead. I am dead. You are full of it tonight. Oh my God. I've always wanted to see someone draw or paint Thrawn holding the galaxy in his hand. You know, he was born on Gisela or whatever it's called. That would be neat to have him with that in the background. Him, the classical Thrawn, not the Disney version. And then maybe him with the holocron with some kind of art, image of an art piece. I don't know. That's a great idea. I love painting stuff that give off different textures, different lighting, transparent stuff, like anything that's a challenge that gives off a glow, shiny metal, I guess you could say texture. Anything like that that's a little challenge that has me think outside of the box and how I think I should create something would be fun. Let's see here. Yes, I agree. OG Star Wars, and of course, real Thrawn. Right. You are in rare form, sir. Let's see here. I hate to end when we're having fun. Here's some of my brushes. I have all kinds of brushes. This is easier when I need bigger areas to cover. I love these filberts on all sides. This one has been wear and tear. I got to really clean it really good. But I love these round tip filberts. Small or big. And this is for detail. Let me see. You can't even see it. This is for detail. And I'll probably do this to do like the marks on the Wookiee braids and the little bit of nicks and stuff here and there, and to fill in right here. Yeah. I can't take it. That challenge is beyond my skill. Laugh out loud. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was a very impromptu painting session. I want to get more comfortable with that and talking with you guys and allowing like the mod to set the pace and the tone in the chat, even though he went chill, so that when I am painting and telling you what I'm doing and stuff like that, then the mod can, help monitor and keep the chat going. And when I'm able to respond to you guys, then I can do that as well. Yeah, so thank you guys for hanging out. I had 50 people in here. Wow, that's pretty good for my channel, and it just an impromptu time just about painting and no Star Wars news, just about a classical Star Wars character that we all love and adore. Smash the like button on the way out. Yes, and if you're going to catch the replay, thank you for hanging out with me. We did listen a little bit to the HoloNets Part 4. I'm going to continue to listen to it. I'll probably rewind it a little bit and catch up on some stuff. Glad I caught it, OG Star Wars. Thank you for doing it. Thank you. And if you guys more of these, I don't mind doing impromptus now and then. It doesn't have to necessarily be Star Wars paintings. I can also show you stuff that I'm working on for coming art show. But we can still talk Star Wars. That doesn't change. This is a Star Wars channel. Hear that, chat? I worked hard for your entertainment, kinda. He works hard for the money. So hard for the money. Well, for the chat. Okay. Smash that like button and subscribe, you all. Yeah, great stuff. Thank you, Star Wars Marvel Purist. Paint Tuscan Bob on Tatooine. A Yark would be a good one. Interested to see Mrs. Dash block you. I suspect he did. I have to go check. We'll see. I did correct him on who did the thought bomb. So you know how they are. They don't admit they're wrong. They will just rather block and move on because they are assholes. Assholes. Yes, yes. All right, you guys. I could sit here and chat away with you guys, but I'm going to finish this up. I will share pictures with you guys here pretty soon. I'm going to change my scene around. The little pull-out table tray here. So it's a table tray. Or what do you call it? What do you call those tray thingies? Anyways, it's one of those tray table thingies. I don't remember what the hell they're called. Dinner table trays. You know how you scoot up to your I'm showing my fucking age, you guys, but how you pull it up to your couch and you have your dinner, your TV dinner and whatever. But anyways, I'm mumbling. I'm just ranting on. But I use my paint as my paint tray here. And so I have everything reversed. And so it feels kind of out of sync. So let's see here. I posted my blocked Twitter message at Soul Assassin. Yes. Wait, someone doesn't know about the thought bomb? What the hell? Yes. I will share it with you when I'm done here. Yes. They said Bane did the thought bomb. And they're supposed to be Star Wars experts with the biggest channels ever here on YouTube. And that's not true. So I went and corrected it. So we'll see. if I'm blocked now because I corrected this woman with this little tiny YouTube channel about Star Wars, corrected them. Yep, claimed Bane unleashed the thought bomb, not Bane giving Khan, I was going to say Kane, Khan the info to create the thought bomb. Right. Yep. What can you say? Oh, he's seen that. Yep. So we'll see how that goes. Let me see here before I close out. Is there anything else I want to show you guys? I really don't want to end, but I'm going. But let me show you one I did of one of my kids. This is a concept style one. So this is my painting here. One of my daughters, and she was waiting. She was watching dancers out on the arena dance at a powwow, and she was wearing her cowboy hat. And yeah, so I turned that into a contemporary ledger art piece. Not you two. Oh my fucking God, you guys. They get butthurt when the wind blows. That's funny. Oh, somebody has to Star Wars Marvel purist. Thank you so much. And oh wow, oh geez, thank you. You can say that painting is quite... You're just doing this to get a reaction out of me. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and call it quits here before anything else, before Soul Assassin continues to share how much of a Disney shill he is. But before we do that, before we end, let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Someone asked me to give the best reason why someone should read the expanded universe. After giving it a lot of thought, here's what I have to say. The expanded universe respects the reader. In the expanded universe, Luke Skywalker's optimism continues where it left off in Return of the Jedi. He's fulfilled hope to the galaxy, just like Obi-Wan said he would, not like the Disney movies where he gave up on the Jedi or even the whole galaxy for that matter. The character you see in those movies is not Luke. Luke isn't a quitter. He's not a pessimist. He's a leader. He's inspirational. And he's always there for his friends in times of need. Another character is Han Solo. He's introduced to us in A New Hope as a loner, a man who cares only for himself and nobody else. But by the end of Return of the Jedi, that all turns around when he finally finds friends he can trust and a true love to spend the rest of his life with. And that's exactly what he does in the expanded universe. Han is a devoted husband and father to Leia and their kids. He loves his family above all else. In the new movies, Han turns out to be a selfish deadbeat dad who ran out on his family when things get tough. It's a complete 180 from the character that we saw from Return of the Jedi. Now, another thing the EU does is it rewards its readers. Attention to detail when it comes to continuity has never been done at such a level as when it was performed by the expanded universe. Avid readers will constantly be rewarded for their diligence as comics, novels, video games, and even children's books share connections throughout the entire series, making it almost a flawless, continuous story. And though it has its minor flaws, it's still the best overall story and continuity out there, period. That's what the EU does. It respects and rewards its readers. And that's the best reason you should give it a try. Long live the expanded universe.
Another happy landing.